Investors and traders, welcome to the channel. Market chart pattern today is 16th of March 2025. Hope everyone is having a great weekend. We'll take a look at the key technology stocks that we follow on the channel, and we will take a look at the weekly charts. We'll take a look at the daily charts for these stocks and see what the patterns are telling us, what the price is likely to do next. As always, this video is for educational purposes only, and it is not a financial advice. So let's start by taking a look at the stock of Apple. So Apple has been under a fair amount of pressure pretty much since the beginning of 2025, but it put in a top around the 23rd of December 2024. And I was just hoping, and hope is not a good word for investing and trading. I might get to about 260, 262, 1.618 expansion, but it got to as high as 260. So yeah, right about there, but 1.27, 1.618 expansion, a little bit higher I was really aiming for, but we missed the pattern. I think it was close enough, so I am actually going to remove this question mark. And then what we have seen is a correction that has taken place over a few months now. Now, some really interesting aspects which we can look at in terms of Apple is that this move down thus far has been approximately 19.9%, so we'll just call it 20%. And Apple has had a previous move down since it put in a bottom in January of 2023 of about 17% right here, which came in on the 5th of August. And then you can see that the stock had a nice run to the upside. However, this one is a little bit different because it has exceeded this. Here you can see that. So it has exceeded the 17% move down. So what it is doing is actually similar to what the market had done previously when it was still in a bear market of 2022. So here we go. That is the equivalent move in terms of the price. It came pretty close to that last Friday, just missed it by a little bit. So let's also see what it was in terms of percentage, this entire move. And you can see that this was a much larger move. It was about roughly 30%, and this one is about 20%. And one of the key things is that when we are looking at this chart is that where the market stopped last Friday is really important, or what happened, which I'll also show you on the daily chart. But on the weekly chart, it is the 38.2% retracement since the bottom came in, which was in January of 2023. That's the week, so early part of first week of January, new year. Stock put in a bottom, massive rally to the upside, and that is the 38.2% retracement of that. And it's also a 78.6% retracement of this low from 5th of August. Now the 5th of August low is really important because the market had actually respected the 61.8% retracement of this move low. So this is really important. And I think, in my opinion, where the market is around 200 to 207, $200 per share level, and as long as this level of 196, 97 is held, you know, the stock could actually make an attempt to move higher, or actually maybe remain range bound. But we could at least see some sort of a rally in the stock. If the market begins to close below 196, taking out this low, then I think, in my opinion, it is a change of character, and we'll be looking for a bigger correction. So keep in mind this 208, 207 level, 38.2% retracement on the weekly chart, really important. And then we come back and take a look at this on the daily chart. We can also see it completed a really nice ABCD one-to-one price projection right here. And last Friday, the market actually put in an inside bar, closed higher. So that is actually a positive move. And there is another little ABCD right here where the CD leg is extended by 1.618 times. So around 211 coming nearby. So we have a confluence of this ABCD on the daily, and then on the weekly we have the 38.2% retracement, 78.6% retracement from the 5th of August lows. So we have a confluence of a number of things coming together, and this is why this level is really, really important. And we could see a rally come in the stock. So we'll see. We'll just take a look at the CD leg and the rally we could anticipate to at least reach about 38.2% retracement. So getting into this level of about 225, 224 roughly is what we can expect. And getting above this, I think the stock will be getting stronger, which will be a good sign for the bulls, but a really, really important key level to be held. And there's a possibility maybe the stock might have put in a bottom, at least for the short term, but ideally I would like to see more strength come in. So ideally this swing high of 13th of March taken out to the upside, that would give us more confidence from price action perspective. But the patterns, a number of confidence levels coming together, very, very key level of support, pretty strong support of 207 for Apple stock. Now let's take a look at Tesla. Here we go. So the Tesla stock has really been hammered hard, and on the daily chart we were really watching for this level of about 250, which is also about roughly 50% retracement of its we talked about this in the last video, of the low it had put in back in 2023, I believe. I'll show that to you on the weekly chart. But the market closed on Monday lower than this, and it actually came as a surprise. But the good thing is there was just no follow through. So this stock is really under pressure a lot from a technical perspective, but it's also hovering around these levels. It just recouped that, getting above close to the 61.8% retracement. So I think it's got a chance. And there's a possibility that perhaps Tesla might also be at a stage where it could at least put in a rally, which could at least be a shorter term rally. So here was something I want to show you here. So this is the top when the market had put in a top in November of 2021, and it retraced right down to the January of 2023. That was a 76% retracement in this stock. This is also a retracement that I don't personally use, but there is actually a Fibonacci retracement. I like to use 78.6%, but some like to use 76.4. Anyway, it was hitting the 78.6% retracement of these lows to this high. This is why I was saying at that time, there are old videos in the archive, the stock is putting in a bottom, and in fact it did and made new all-time highs. Now, if we just look at this leg higher, so this is the extended ABCD. CD leg is 1.618 times the AB leg. What we have is basically the biggest correction in this leg lower was about 55%. So 54.29%, roughly 59%, 55%. And thus far the stock has also retrace 55%. So we have symmetry in terms of percentage. This is really important. And look at the way the stock closed, just right, closing at the 89 period weekly moving average, still respecting the trend line. So once it is able to get more strength, more buyers dip into it, which by the way it looks like that some professional money is actually now buying the stock perhaps. I think Tesla's got a pretty good chance to rally from these levels. So I was a little bit surprised last Monday when that key confidence levels was broken to the downside. That just showed the amount of bearishness in the market at that time, beginning of last week. News related to tariffs and many other things perhaps. But there was just no follow through. There was just no major follow through. So that is a sign of strength, and now it's just regaining these levels. So I think Tesla is at a moment of truth where if it begins to close above this level, it's got a pretty good chance to at least rally to about 321. Getting above that would be very good for the bulls. So keep on watching Tesla. Now let's take a look at NVIDIA. So NVIDIA on the weekly chart has also done something really interesting. Now we have this ABCD completing around 154. The market got to that 153.13, missed it by really pennies. I think it's a double top formation because this is the one we were watching at that time, 152.89. So I'm also actually going to remove question mark from here because I think, in my opinion, it's complete pattern. And then we have seen a correction which has actually unfolded in one-to-one price projection. So we like to call it ABCD right here. But what you can also see is that it broke this trend line. So with NVIDIA, I think, in my opinion, we still need to be a little bit careful. I think by putting in a ABCD, probably we have seen a pretty good bottom, but I would like to see more strength to be more confident. I think some people have actually bought this stock. But this low, in my opinion, of 103, it needs to be held. So what I mean is that maybe it appears that there is some institutional buying coming into the stock, and institutions are the ones which move the market. So that is pretty good. So what we can do is we can take this is the symmetric move in this market, and we can anticipate that perhaps this market could rally at least this much, and that would be, if we just draw a retracement, that would be above 38.2%. So this is, we are talking about the maximum scenario here. It will be right at the 61.8% retracement, and at that point we'll also have this trend line like this. There you go. So it will still be a 1-3-5 pattern. I rarely talk about this, but this is like a 1-2-3-4-5. So 1-3-5 pattern, which we'll see here. Basically, it is a lower lows and lower highs pattern. So it will be more of a channel formation, I can see as well. Like this. So market moving in a descending kind of a channel formation. Getting above this is bullish for NVIDIA, but cautiously bullish, at least in the shorter term, because look, fantastic price action. Thus far, this market has gone up roughly 16% since this bottom came in, and the bottom was right into this box that we had drawn. But if you just look at this on the daily chart, you can see that the rallies get sold. This happened here. Then there was a rally here. But if you look at this recent leg since beginning of 2025, a rally got sold, rally got sold, rally got sold. So the chances are we could see similar kind of price action. Looks like sign of distribution to me, on the daily chart at least, but it remains a really favorite stock, and it's a fantastic company. So maybe we might be, if we begin to see more strength, we might be over this whole distribution part where maybe some big players wanted to take some chips off the table. But I want to see more strength into this, but we have a clear ABCD winner in this stock as well, and we have in Apple ABCD as well on the weekly. On the daily, I had shown you that. Okay, now let's take a look at Microsoft. There we go. So the Microsoft also did an ABCD. So you can see that there are so many of these stocks putting in these ABCDs, one-to-one projection, price projections, and actually completing our targets. So I will be doing later on a video on the stock market overall. So with these, many of these tech stocks, which had actually been a leader, but since the beginning of 2025, they have been the laggards and being sold off. So maybe there is some rotation coming back into it. So some of those defensive names getting sold, such as McDonald's, which was a very clear winner last week. Actually, it closed lower this week. So this shows that some of the money which is moving into these really defensive names, which kind of do really well during recessionary environments, that got sold, and some of that money began to rotate back into these growth stocks, the Magnificent Seven stocks. So here, watching this ABCD right here, it came right very close to this 38.2% retracement. So we have a confluence of the ABCD, 38.2% retracement. I think Microsoft has a pretty good chance to rally from here, and if we were to just draw a 38.2% retracement, that is going to be the roughly the region where we'll look for some resistance to come in, but these are the previous advances it has been, so maybe it can go as high as here we go, that 61.8% retracement as well. Getting much deeper into this, I think this could have been a significant low in the stock. There's one more chance that Microsoft could actually retrace all the way down to about 330. That will be the entire 2022 bear market. But if we find pretty good strength from here, because it is the 38.2% retracement of this entire bull move, putting in a bottom in of October 2022 to putting in a high of 1st of July 2024, and it could be a pretty massive bottom which the stock might have put in, and Microsoft could be starting to rally to about 493, $500. That possibility is still there. So keep on watching for Microsoft because of this key confluence of levels that came in and bullish price action close for Microsoft. We'll begin to get our clues once the market begins to close above 407 and of this entire high. So 412 roughly, and 433. That's the kind of region I would expect the market to get into for this rally. Getting above that, I think the stock would be pretty strong. We could be looking at $500 for Microsoft. A quick look at let's take a look at Meta is in fact one of my favorite stocks. Here we go. If you guys recall, the long-term subscribers will recall, we had a target of about 690 here, 690 on the weekly chart for the stock. That was the ABCD, but the CD leg was 1.618 times the AB leg, and we reached that level and then we exceeded that level. And then what we have seen is essentially a pullback, and this pullback has been about 20% in the stock. So normally a pullback of 20% is seen as a bear market. So it's kind of flirting with that level from a percentage perspective, but a really fantastic move higher. Let me actually put it a little bit there, and you can see that it's just right at the bottom of this channel. The market came and touched that, just right there, very close to that. And if we were to draw a retracement, let's see, we go back to this level and we draw it from here. So we have slightly gone below the 38.2% retracement, and this significant low, if we take that, we are right at the 38.2% retracement as well. So I'll take this one just because it's like a double bottom formation. So I think we retraced about 50% of that move, which is which is fine. Retracements happen. And if we just go back on the daily chart, here we go. And what do we see? We see another ABCD. Here we go. So many of these stocks. Let me actually make it red because I think it'll make it a little bit easier to see. And the reason is, I've got black and white as the candles, so it just makes it more obvious to see. So there we go. Another one ABCD one-to-one price projection. It was a dividend fall on. I believe the dividend fall was I don't know, Friday was a dividend fall, and I think we saw this price action. It's kind of normal. I think so that people might have who were really looking to take the dividend because T+1 settlement, they can sell it right here. They'll still have entitlement, so maybe we might see because the dividend is priced into the stock price. So when the dividend fall happens, the stock becomes, of course, ex-dividend, so that the price just gets adjusted. So there we go. This is the 38.2% with respect to this. We have seen that. So there we go. We have something really interesting happening also from a symmetry perspective, but in terms of percentage. So the last time we had about a 22% move to the downside, the stock was actually putting in a bottom, and then we had another one right here about 18.5%. The stock put in a bottom, and where are we now? We are about 21%, and we have the ABCD. The chances are the stock might be putting in a bottom So we have got Tesla really at those close levels. We have the Apple on a daily, it's making ABCD, Microsoft making ABCD, and Meta making ABCD. So Magnificent Seven, I think something is really happening there. We are seeing so many of these key patterns that we like to watch at really confluence levels of Fibonacci retracements and patterns. I think by the looks of it, I think there is some institutional buying which might be coming into these stocks, and these Magnificent Seven stocks getting back into the fashion. Now let's take a look at the Amazon. So Amazon, I think it's just really hovering around the 200 day moving average. Needs to get above that to have more strength. But from a symmetric move, it has done its move. Here we go. Here we go. And now I don't have the ABCD here. I can just only rely on that. This is the trend line still intact. Pretty good retracement. And let's take a look at in terms of the percentage. Yes, about 20.6%. We had a 23% retracement back then. The stock rallied. So there you go. I think another one to keep an eye on, but I don't have the ABCD pattern in here. Now let's take a look at AMD. This stock has also done its bigger ABCD, went a little bit lower, closer to the 61.8% retracement. Really, really bearish price action on this one. But the price closed positive for the past week, so we'll just keep on watching this. And this is how it looks like on the daily chart. We have a number of these ABCDs completing. So a subscriber had requested me, and I had actually mentioned to be patient on this stock, and I think the patience would have paid well, because the stock, you can see this is the channel, it's just been moving lower. So we need to see further signs of accumulation to appear, at least getting above the 20-day moving average on a consistent basis. We are getting there, we're getting close, but we are not there yet. So I think requires further patience. But it does look like with the entire DeepSeek scenario, that actually if improvements could be made on the software side, then perhaps a lesser expensive hardware could also be used to achieve to train these big large language models as well. And I think AMD must be working on their advancing their technology as well, to kind of close the gap between NVIDIA, which is number one, and the AMD is number two by per my research. Okay, last but not least, we'll take a look at Roblox. So Roblox has actually done what we were kind of anticipating when it touched these highs and exceeded our target as well, that it could do an ABCD correction. That's another ABCD it has done. Now it might still be in a corrective mode, so we could see an ABCD to the upside, and then another final leg lower to complete the correction, which could come pretty much towards the forming a double bottom, maybe going a little bit below this and double bottom formation. So that is possible. So just watching price action in Roblox, and here you go. This is about 63-65 was our target because of the 38.2% retracement. Market went there, tried to get above it, and it did. But that's also when it began to start a correction. Now it is finding support from the structure right here. So we're just watching the price action. And if it's able to give us an ABCD, that's going to be really, really nice. Then, maybe it might be getting ready for another leg higher. We'll have to wait and see. So these are the key stocks that we are watching. So thank you very much for watching the video. Just one request, I will be putting in the donation link in the description of the video. Please donate whatever you can for the channel. If you think we are putting in good quality research out there and you might have benefited out of it, for example, then it will just help me cover with some of the costs associated with subscriptions, such as for TradingView. Also, a lot of time gets spent working on charts, so it'll be a big help for me as well, and I can spend more time and bring more research out for you guys. So thank you very much for watching the video. Good luck, good trading, and speak to you guys soon.